Welcome to First Time Fishing. I'm Big Bird and today we're talking about these Guru hybrid feeders. Roll the titles. Hi guys, welcome to First Time Fishing with me, Big Bird. Now basically, first review. Right, anyway, if you want to hear any more future reviews, just make sure you hit that subscribe button. Alright, because I'm planning to do a hell of a lot more of these. So, today, Guru hybrid feeders. I was sick of buying fishing tackle and not having any decent reviews, or not having any hearty reviews, and having a look and actually seeing these things up close, seeing whether they might work for me, whether they're easy to use, all of this sort of stuff. So I'm just going to try an in-depth review and just make it as easy as possible so that hopefully we can get you and your matches better, easier. That's what I'm looking for. Get you to win. Just generally make fishing easier so you can catch more. That'll do. I know I need to work on it. Right, anyway, let's see these bad boys up close. So here's the range. The first one we've got is the mini. This comes in an 18 gram and a 24 gram and also a 30 gram, which is an extra distance. All of the ranges have the extra distance models in, which are for getting some extra distance on your casts for your bigger venues like Boddington and Barston. Second, we've got a small here. This comes in a 24 gram, a 36 gram and an extra distance 40 gram. All of them are camo painted, which match the commercials very, very well. Next on the section is the medium here. As you can see, with the side build-up and the holes on the bottom, the bait is protected as it hits the water, but the holes also soften your bait for when it does hit the bottom of the lake. And then in the medium, we've got the 32 gram and the 42 gram, and a 50 for extra distance. And then this is the large. The large comes in a 28 gram, a 45 gram, and a 55 gram. And the extra distance is a 60 gram. These holes on the bottom here, they seem to be quite well strategically placed from Guru, and release your micros quite well, yet the sides seem to protect your bait very, very well as it enters the water. So that's the range, the mini, and then we've got the small, we've got the medium and the large there. Now, it might seem complicated, but these things come with stems. Let's have a closer look at these. Okay, so the stems that come with the feeders, they come in two sizes. We've got the normal and we've got the long. Both stems will fit any of the feeders. You can have a long stem with the mini or the small, not just the large or the medium. And you can also put the medium stem into either the medium or the large feeders. They're simply placed in the holes, and they match up. It's a bit of a jigsaw, but they click in no problem. These are interchangeable when you're feeding. If you're fishing a mini and you want to be putting a slightly more bait in, you can easily go up to a small or a medium and literally just take the stem away and click the feeders on. It's quite a clever system. This is the large stem going into a large feeder, and as you can see, I tend to use the larger stems more often than the normal medium feeders, because it tends to give me a little bit more accuracy on my casting. Now, these are the X-Safe stems. These are extremely clever. There are a lot of commercials out there that are actually accepting these as part of matches now, simply because they're safe. If the fish, if your line was to snap above the feeder, then the stem actually comes away with the elastic out of it, so that all that is attached is the barbless hook and the elastic. So fish are able to get out of it. It's a very clever system, but these fit exactly the same as the other stems. They fit in, you can see that there's a hook eye, so literally they are interchangeable. Straight away you can up your size of your feeder. It's literally just take the stem hat off and then attach another feeder on. It is very, very clever and will make your life very, very easy in a match. They do come in two different sizes of elastics. You've got the black or the white. The black is traditionally stronger than the white, and you can only get the whites in the smaller stems. This is the large. It just means that when you hook your fish, you have got that little bit of play and there is always that tension on the fish. And hence, I've always found myself that you will always keep hook of the fish. I lose a lot less fish using the X-Safe system. It's a bit of a no-brainer to use because it just simply is easier to use, especially if you're interchanging your feeders throughout your session. Again, you stick the little hat on that's on your line, and you're literally good to go. Now, we've seen the feeders up close and we've seen the stems and how they go together. Now, how do we actually use them? How are they going to benefit our fishing? And how is the bait going to be presented? Well, we went to Lower Park Farm Fisheries in Redditch just to set that little thing up. Okay, so bearing in mind it's January, it's very, very cold. We're not going to be using a lot of bait out today in Redditch. So we've opted for a small feeder, and we're going for a 4mm pellet on a bait band of a QM1 Guru hook. I'll do a separate review on the hooks at a later stage, but as you can see, you get your 2mm pellets that have prepared and been soaked for a minute and a half, and you literally squeeze them into the top of the feeder. You get your hook with your bait on and place it into the centre of the feeder. And now what we need to go and do is place some more 2mm pellets on the top, give it a little firm squeeze, and you are literally ready to go. Now that we've seen how to present the bait before casting, let's see what it looks like under the water. From the fish's perspective, it's time for the tank test. So for this test, we're going to be using Guru size 12 QM1 hooks. We're going to be using mainline matches dumbbell wafters 10mm, and we're going to be using a large feeder with a short X-Safe stem. And this is how it looks before we chuck it out. Now, you can see in this reenactment, the feeder's just hit the bottom of the lake. The pellets are starting to take a little bit of water on board and are starting to break down in the feeder, creating a little bit of a pile around the feeder. Now, we're using a wafter bait, which is a floating bait, which you'll see wants to break away shortly and become a nice, bright, orange, standout bait, ready for your fish to take. As time goes on, the pellets are slowly starting to break down around the feeder. Now let's give you the perspective from outside of the bowl. Here you can clearly see the wafter floating on the top of the bowl. And you can see that there's a pile of pellets surrounding the actual feeder. And there we have it. Guru hybrid feeders. I hope that today, watching this, you've been able to gain a bit of confidence in how to use a new item in your tackle. It gives you a little bit of an edge. It can mix things up. And when other strategies aren't working, you can always opt for the feeder. So why don't you try and give it a go? Drop me a message in my comments and let me know how you get on. And we'll see you next time on First Time Fishing.